What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and this is an important video, one that I'm hoping that we can work together to spread and apply some pressure to Disney, Marvel, and the team behind Spider-Man. I had a different video planned for my primetime spot today, but I decided to delay going to the Renaissance Fair a little bit so I could cover this story. I know I'm not the first YouTuber to cover this Disney cold-heartedness, but I thought maybe together we could spread it and maybe, I don't know, get some justice or get some, apply some pressure to Disney maybe. I don't know. The new world Disney, obviously the S has been replaced by the $sign. And this is not a great story, but it's one that I think we need to talk about and one that we need to share because I don't think Stan Lee would have ever said no to this little boy and family. So Disney bans grieving father from having Spider-Man on his son's grave. Grieving father has been denied permission to put a picture of Spider-Man on his little boy's grave because Disney wants to preserve the, quote, magic of its characters. That sounds like some utter baloney. We obviously have the email from Disney that we're going to go over here, but here's what if the father, maybe Mr. Lloyd Jones, maybe if everyone works together and likes and shares this video out, maybe you'll see this. I think you should just put it on the gravestone anyway, and play chicken with Disney. I'm not sure Disney wants to be the company that makes you remove a gravestone of your young son, and if they do, well, it's not going to end well for them. That said, obviously, as somebody who's going through this with just like their dog, I can't imagine what it's like to have a 4-year-old in this situation. But the story goes, Marvel superfan, and you can see the kids using Spider-Man holding up his breathing tubes. Marvel superfan Ollie Jones, 4 years old, has passed from a rare genetic disorder last year. And was a had a Spider-Man themed funeral featuring a horse-drawn carriage decorated in red and blue balloons. Little boy of Maidenstone, Kent, had suffered from leukodystrophy for 2 years, and his last holiday had been to Disneyland to meet his favorite superhero. His dad, Lloyd Jones, asked the council for permission to get an etching of Spider-Man on Ollie's gravestone, as he wanted the image to remind him of his son. The council officials told Lloyd to contact Walt Disney Company, which owns the Marvel franchise. Now, I am certain, knowing the man that Stan Lee was, okay, the man that Stan Lee was, if Stan Lee had heard about this, if it had garnered enough attention on social media, I feel confident Stan Lee would have made something happen. But that's not what happened with Disney, and Disney should be ashamed of itself. I believe that they are lying about the reasoning for not allowing it, but let's continue. Disney refused to give the go-ahead because the company wanted to, quote, preserve the innocence and magic around its characters. Are you joking? The rejection email from the US-based giant instead offered the devastated family a personalized celluloid frame. Now, to be fair, I'm surprised Disney responded at all. If it were me, I would have done it and never asked. It's better to beg forgiveness than ask for permission from these super mega huge corporations in most cases, I would say. But I suppose the company doing the work probably required that you had to do it or something like that. Now, the fact that they did offer something is, I guess, something. But it's like, hey, sorry your kid died. Please accept this plastic figurine or something like that.
he wasn't asking them for any money. He was just asking for somebody to be able to etch a figure on his son's gravestone. All right. The rejection from the U.S.-based giant offered a devastated family a personalized celluloid frame. Effectively an action frame taken from a comic or film, showing a scene from Spider-Man with a handwritten message to Ollie. Now, that is very nice, but Ollie's not around to appreciate it anymore, okay? The dad of 6, Lloyd, said, "I wasn't expecting this. It's another massive blow. I felt sure they would allow it." Lloyd said the movie giant is trying to, quote, disassociate their characters from death and felt the decision was about money. Well, yeah, I mean, you just put out 2 movies where half the world's population was essentially removed, right? You have characters that, spoiler alert, don't make it to the end of films. So I feel like that answer is absolute baloney. If you didn't want to associate your characters with that, then why are they in action films fighting bad guys? Right? What happened to Thanos? What happened to all those warriors that had in the big scene during Endgame? Were they just tired, like the old video games where they just knocked out? They just needed to rest to have their energy bar refilled. He added, "This makes no sense to me. Characters die in the films all the time. I think it's about money." Ollie's last holiday was at Disneyland. He loves Spider-Man, and we had bought him all of the toys. Now, a lot of people are talking about, hey, it's probably time to make a statement to Disney. I saw a few people talking about boycotting Disney. I mean, I think it's just something to consider when you're purchasing your next toys or you're paying to see your next film. Maybe there's people that are going to just sail the high seas. Obviously, I disavow that. But, I think that since Disney is so concerned about money, even though their films are making $1 billion every time, I'm sure they won't miss a few bucks. From a business perspective, some lawyer was probably like, "Well, excuse me, sir, if we give this to this one boy, then all the boys on the planet are going to want it. Then the graveyards will be full of Marvel characters." I think I went through 3 different accents there, 3 different voices. This, I'm getting my chops up. I want to be the next young EA voice actor, But so what? Right? So what? I can't imagine a bigger compliment to a film industry or to a movie franchise that you meant so much to somebody. You meant so much to a young child or to a family that they are intertwined. The memory of their son and Spider-Man are intertwined, and you say no? That is disgusting. All right? This is, in my opinion, about money. And I'm hoping a ton of people see this video or the videos of other people who covered this, because Disney really needs a reality check here. For a company that profits billions a year off little children and sells this imagination that these superheroes will be there for you no matter what, in your ending days, it's like saying, well, the superheroes, you're not going to make it? Well, Spider-Man's busy. Spider-Man's off doing a photo op with somebody who's alive, who can continue to spend money for our corporation. But now he has died and won't be spending any more money. They don't care. Ollie's sister, Leah, who's 6, also suffers from this. Jeez. A rare genetic disease that damages the brain, spinal cord, and often peripheral nerves, which the little boy died from in December. Writing on Facebook to rally support to reverse the decision. See, hopefully there's some hope. Hopefully we're going to get together. Everyone's going to share the crap out of this on Twitter. People are going to share this on Facebook, share this on Minds, share this on whatever social media you have, and tag in Disney, tag in, influential directors, maybe Kevin Feige, stuff like that. I think we can maybe make this happen. Lloyd said, kids only matter to Disney when they're alive and spending money with them. Lloyd's brother Jason Jones contacted Disney on his behalf because the dad was struggling to deal with his son's death. A representative from Walt Disney's permission department wrote, "We extend our sincere condolences. If we played a small part in Ollie's happiness, we are honored. Generations of fans have responded to our characters with the same wonder and delight that Ollie did." So Ollie's just a number, right? Ollie's just a dollar sign. Ollie's just another pay piggy. In fact, many believe the characters are real. We have striven to preserve the same innocence and magic around our characters that brought Ollie such joy. For that reason, we follow policy that began Walt Disney himself that did not permit the use of characters on headstones, cemetery or memorial makers, or funeral urns. Why? Why? You sell the license to anyone who's willing to pay money. Is it because you don't want to be seen profiting from it? Maybe you could do something good and let people do this. Who cares? The real question is, who is this hurting? Who is this hurting, Disney? This is the stupidest decision I have seen Disney make outside the casting of Brie Larson. Although we cannot grant the family's request, we would be pleased to commemorate your nephew with a hand-inked, hand-painted, personalized cell that recognizes his love for Spider-Man, which will read, "For your nephew's name, thank you for letting us share the magic in your life, your friends at Walt Disney Company." Who cares about that? Ollie's uncle Jason said, "This meant everything to us. My brother's life has been shattered. It's shattered the whole family. We can't move on until we have this headstone done. Spider-Man was Ollie's entire life. He loved it so much. I didn't expect this to be an issue. My funeral director, who also my friend, called me up and told me they can't do it. I thought he was joking at first. We understand copyright, but I don't see why Marvel would have any issues with this." An online petition by Lloyd's old school friends, Michael Farrow, urging Disney to change their mind, has almost 1,900 signatures. Well, I'm going to leave a link to that. We'll see what we can do. There's only 2,800. Maybe we can get this over 20,000, 30,000. Yeah, I know that these petitions often lead to nothing, but one thing they can do is lead to headlines. If there's like 30, 40, 50,000 signatures on here, then maybe some news agency will pick it up and say 50,000 people have rallied together against this. An online petition to Lloyd's School. Okay, Maidstone building from firm Gallagher's has also offered to donate the headstone if permission is granted. A Maidstone Borough Council spokeswoman said they would do everything they could to help family. She added, Maidstone Borough Council is trying to help the family who has asked whether they can place Spider-Man headstone on the grave of the young son. Sadly, these types of stones have to adhere to copyright, and while we understand this is a very emotional time for the family, we have made contact with Marvel to ensure the family are complying with the terms and conditions. Well, this is modern-day Disney. This is Disney. I'm hoping that while this isn't like the best story, maybe we can turn it into that by sharing this far and wide. I know for a fact what Stan Lee would have done. And if Disney is going to dishonor Stan Lee's memory by worrying more about cash than the happiness, than the what is at the core of these superheroes, to tell the children of the world that your favorite superhero, the one that fights the bad guys every single day just for the morality to protect humans, is going to abandon them when they can no longer pay them money, that, my friends, is a bridge too far. Help Ollie out by sharing this video. Screw you, Disney.